And that's the gun.
There we go. Men's Division 4 is underway. That looks to be quite a good line off the start by Wolfson M2, who are sticking, although actually they're looking very close to the bank already.
Yeah,
Have they
they need
actually
to
just... Yeah,
kind of
they've
stick
rescued that
there.
one.
And it looks like second crew. Who is that?
Looks like St Anthony's with a very
Christchurch.
bright start on Green Templeton there. St Anthony's almost got a bump on Green Templeton, expecting a concession from the Cox any second now. Can we see their hands sticking up? They're going for the rope. Oh, there we go.
Hand.
That was it was, a very late concession there, to be honest. There was half a boat of overlap. My goodness. That was inevitable from the offset.
St Anthony's now need to get out of the way. And it looks like Christchurch have got their bump. They were already moving aside. So Wolfson are going to... Oh, we've got Teddy Hall chasing down
Oriel 2. Meanwhile, we've got Trinity 2 closing down on St Catherine's 2. So this is a fight to stay in Men's Division 4. The loser of this battle will be ejected out to Men's Division 5.
And it looks like Trinity have the better line of the two crews. Although Cats might have to do some evasive steering to avoid the bump, but they don't want to get caught up in those crews that have bumped out already.
Absolutely. And does that look like two crews that are almost there going into the gut? I have to say, I saw the Bowman of Trinity looking around. Yes. Because then that's Keeble right behind them, isn't it? Yeah, so we could be seeing a bump between Teddy Hall and Oriel 2 at the bottom of the gut. Meanwhile, Cats are now closing quite spectacularly on Keeble. Cats are making a push. Actually, Trinity have fallen back slightly, probably about a length between Trinity and Cats actually closing on Keeble. This is quite an exciting bottom of the division.
Trinity will have to do a lot of work if they're going to try and overbump on Keeble if Cats can get them, although Cats are steering out a bit. Mind you, Keeble won't have much space to go. If Cats cut off that bay, Keeble will steer right into them. Oh, and that's a concession.
Cats probably steering... Oh, there we go. So is that Cats... Oh, no, actually, no, above that. So that's Teddy Hall having bumped Oriel, I believe. Yeah. And it looks like Cats are pulling away. So we think that actually Cats have bumped Keeble and Teddy Hall have bumped Oriel. So that's 4 bumps already in this division.
Before the gut, impressive. And now we've got Trinity, who've got to do a bit more work to catch up with Keeble.
If they haven't gone too hot off the start, they've got a good chance of catching Keeble somewhere along the top of Greenbanks.
Yeah, it did look like they'd closed up quite a lot and then opened it up again. Well, Cats managed to open it up again, so maybe they sort of did a bit of a fly and die. But that will remain to be seen. Green Templeton looking quite comfortable, although they have just been bumped.
Yeah, so from 4 lengths between Green Templeton and Oriel, that probably looks to be about 3 or so lengths. So, I mean, both Green Templeton and Oriel 2 both have the demotivation of having been bumped. But, all is not lost in torpids. If you get bumped, you can carry on. And this looks like Trinity actually closing down a little bit on Keeble now, maybe down to about 2 lengths between Trinity and Keeble at the foot of this division. And if Keeble get bumped by Trinity, that's them out of this division.
And that's quite good steering by the Trinity Cox there, keeping quite tight to the city side, not letting the sort of the other crew steer them out into the middle of the river. Unfortunately, the Wolfson Cox is doing some very interesting steering.
Talking of a good racing line, that's definitely not it from Wolfson. They wanted to start to cross, then gave up, and then have decided to cross again. Not the best for the crew.
They actively crossed the other way. I've never seen that before, but... it doesn't look like it's going to affect them too much.
Well, the thing is, I'm sure that Wolfson crew know they can taste blood because of how far Rands have come down over the past 2 days. I think if there's a big gap there, I know. I think if they had any chance of bumping Anne's, they need to be down to about 3/4 of a length by now, and it's way off that. So I think St Anne's actually appear relatively unscathed at the top of this division, only going down by 1.
Yeah, that's probably quite a good result for them, really. Meanwhile, we've got Wolfson, Green Templeton, Oriel 2 and Keeble 2 still racing.
And possibly Trinity as well as the sandwich boat.
Oh, of course, yes, and the sandwich boat.
Yeah, and as a St Anne's crew, their objective for the week is damage limitation. So if they only go down by 1 place each day, bumps is only 4 days long, and you only have to endure 4 days of minimal damage, and then you survive until next year when you can try and do something about it with a brand new crew. So damage limitation is the name of the game for Anne's.
And Green Templeton looking quite tired there. They've got their heads down a little bit. And
Yeah,
it's a
they
little
do
bit
indeed.
scrappy there, but they have already been bumped, so that's probably quite a demoralisation. But it looks like Oriole 2 are trying to close in, although that could just be the camera angle there.
Yeah, it does look it's maybe down to a length. I think there won't be enough river there, but it does look fairly close. Green Templeton being one of the newer, well, I say newer crews in the river. Green Templeton started rowing in 2008 along with Hilda's Men's. I think they were the most two recent crews on the river. I think the new one will be the New College that's appearing in Oxford at some point in the next 2 years. We'll see them as a boat club within the next 2 or 3 years, I suspect.
Yes, yeah, they. I can't remember who they're joining forces with to get them going. It's in the minutes of the captain's meeting, and that's a bit of a crab, but they might have crossed the line. I'm not entirely sure.
Green Templeton running away from Oriole there, running for their lives. Can they avoid Oriole?
I think they're paddling. I reckon they've crossed the line now. Well,
I think you're right. Yeah, they've both kind of stopped rowing at roughly the same time, which means that they were quite close. But Green Templeton crossed the finish line, and Oriole are stopping a little bit earlier to be safe and to give them room to wind down.
So that was quite a good push from Oriole 2 there, having been bumped and then had to close the gap that St Anthony's created. Then yeah, they've done well to catch up with Green Templeton, and perhaps tomorrow they'll go for the bump on them.